Over the past few years, we've seen so many things excused by the mainstream media when it comes to these superhero franchises, when it comes to Marvel, when it comes to DC. Every time something would disappoint or straight up flop at the box office, there'd be an excuse. Oh, well, the families are tough to come out during COVID. We don't know yet. It must just be COVID. It must be people aren't used to going back to the theater yet. And time again, that is proven completely wrong, because when you give people something to go out there for, they will go out to the theaters. We've seen that play out time and time again. Top Gun Maverick, Avatar 2, The Way of Water, whatever it is. Well, now finally, the media is having to come to terms with the fact that there is something seriously wrong with Marvel and DC. Fans have completely rejected them because for so long, it seems like a lot of these people have been putting identity politics ahead of entertainment. Well, you know what happens when you focus solely on just entertaining people? You actually have success. And that's what we're seeing with John Wick 4. A lot of people were anticipating this was going to be one of the best movies of 2023. And so far, it hasn't disappointed. Opening night, Thursday preview night. $8.9 million at the Thursday box office, far and away the best in the John Wick franchise. But unlike disappointments like the MCU, when it comes to Ant-Man, that was the best in the franchise too, and had a massive drop. Indications are that probably won't be the case for John Wick 4. Right now, it's getting rave reviews by virtually everyone. I went and saw this movie yesterday. I did a non-spoiler review over on RK Outpost, live, fresh out of the theater, my straight-up reaction. It's exactly what you would expect from a John Wick movie, and I think if you have watched all of them, a lot of the emotional resolutions that you have in this are very, very good. Highly recommended. But let's get back to these numbers. We continue to hear, oh, people have franchise fatigue. Well, if it's a franchise that people are excited for, if it's a franchise that's done right by the fans and wants to continue to do right by the fans, it looks like people aren't fatigued by that. Funny how that works. Box office, John Wick 4 earns franchise best $9 million in previews. John Wick Chapter 4 is on track to surpass the third movie's record-setting opening weekend with an expected bow of between 65 and 70 million. Now, that was initially going into this. 65 to 70 million was expected. That would be the best opening of a John Wick movie. They needed to be because it's a bigger budget, $100 million budget for John Wick 4, so likely needs a crack around $300 million worldwide to be profitable. But when you look at that preview number, that could indicate that it's even higher, that it could get up there potentially in the $80 million range. Too soon to know for that. We'll have to get these Friday numbers first. Impressively, each of the films has substantially increased its opening weekend release after the original. John Wick opened to 14 million. John Wick Chapter 2, 30 million. John Wick Chapter 3, 56 million. And now, of course, this will break that number. The Thursday preview hauls have similarly grown over the years. The fourth installment boasts the largest price tag, costing more than $100 million to produce, but should finish with the highest total. As the only new major release, John Wick 4 should have no trouble beating last week's box office champ, Fury of the Gods. Yeah, I imagine it's going to dominate. It's going to double that at the very minimum, what it was able to do. It will be the #1 movie in the world, but it just goes to show, what's the focus of John Wick? It's not about agenda. It's not about identity politics. It's about fucking badass action and a very simple story of a dude and what can happen when something bad happens to him and he wants to get revenge, right? Like, that's what we're talking about, his version of justice. There's no identity politics to speak of in this shit. And that is a big reason why we continue to see franchises that are doing things the right way get these good box office results, while these franchises like Marvel and DC, people are claiming it's just fatigue at the box office. No, people have been done dirty by these brands too many times, and they're over it. Shazam, flop at the box office. Ant-Man, flop at the box office because at a $200 million price tag with all that marketing, Ant-Man and the Wasp will lose money. Likely will lose a lot of money for Disney when it's all said and done, while things like John Wick are continuing to thrive. Even woke Hollywood is being forced to come to terms with the fact that this shit, there's no excuse for it anymore. We keep seeing successes like this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.